Which one do you want to talk about first?
Starbucks.
Oh, we gotta talk about the Starbucks because that was a highlight.
It was good times.
It was really good
Peak
time.
Starbucks. That's
To my right, about 15 feet away, his shoulders were every bit of 4 foot wide. When I turned my headlamp, I turned my headlamp on as I turned, and as I turned,
Way to go, Pax! Oh, we got our own show. Hey! Oh yeah! Hey, welcome to the Animal Show. We can do whatever we want.
Well, that's right, Jim. We're about to get down crazy on the Animal Podcast.
We are not alone in this world. We are being watched. Join me on Animal Paranormal Live.
Hey, this is the ghost host Sophia Temprelli, and you are watching the Animal Podcast Show.
Hey, welcome on Animal Podcast Show. I am your host, the only animal on your favorite network show here. Thank you for joining me today on a Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's been a wonderful week in sunny, hot Florida. You know, it's kind of funny about that. They said it was supposed to be a cold weekend, but I don't see anything cold here in Florida. They said it was supposed to be around the 60s, but it's always 100 here. You know, it always feels like hell. But you know what? We live in the swamp, so that's why we live in wonderful Florida. But anyways, I got an amazing guest, Francesca Garcia, in the green room, and we're going to be talking about all things paranormal. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to check my chat room here. Thank you, Damien, for joining in. What's up, brother? How's it going? Yeah, we're gonna have fun on the show and see what happens. But please follow me on YouTube and iHeartRadio and iTunes and all the great, wonderful places. But we're gonna bring her on and see how it goes and talk all things paranormal and see what's going on in her life. All right, let's bring her on. What is
what's going on, Josh? Thank you for having me on.
Not much. How's it going with you?
It's going. It's hot down here in Florida. It's sunny Florida.
I'm telling you, I was watching the news on Friday. You know what the weird thing is? They're like, oh, because this hurricane, what was it, Ernesto?
Yeah.
Ernesto. It's like Ernesto. And
These dramatic names of the hurricane season here.
It's a lot better than saying FX2792. Like that's how they start out, which is weird. If nobody has ever been through a hurricane, if you live in Florida, they go by like letters and numbers.
Oh yeah.
Then it becomes a tropical depression, then a tropical storm, then it's like hell. Then it's a hurricane. That's when like people are like going in boats and stuff, driving down the street and stuff, like down Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples, and stuff like that.
It's like no biggie. Floridian all the way, you know.
Like, the last hurricane, I'll never forget. Like people were like in a canoe and stuff, and just mind your own business. I'm like, okay, I guess that's Florida for you, man.
Yeah, well, you know you're Floridian for sure. It's a term actually now.
Oh, Florida man. It's Florida man.
The Florida man.
I'm sure if anybody, I'm sure the whole United States have heard Florida man. If you know it's a Florida man thing, you know it's Florida.
Right, exactly. we are in a weird state, I must say.
Hey, Crossline Paranormal, how's it going, man?
Yeah, that's my buddy.
How you doing? So what's up? How's it going? I mean, we've been it's been weeks since we trying to get this going, and we'll finally get to going. And
finally.
I'm very excited.
Me too. Thank you for having me on.
Learn your stuff. I know War Party. Actually, you know the funny thing, I think you guys were in Arcadia at a con.
Yes.
And I remember you were on the stage wearing it was at the Delco Effect.
That is correct. The Delco goggles. Yeah, they're created by Mike Del Coro. So he's our team member, our tech guy, tech manager too. And he's just a genius. Like he created these goggles, and just a whole nother level of the Estes for sure. Like it just takes your mind away. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in Arcadia we saw that. That was pretty cool. I don't think I met you there at that time though, but
No, I don't think I have.
No.
I think maybe just in passing. There's so many people there too, like just kind of interacting with the vendors around. But that was a really cool moment. And I think one of the girls at the shop downstairs, she has like this little goth shop going on. And I forgot the name of the person that was saying on stage, but I was like saying the person, the owner that died there, something that supposedly haunts the shop. And then she was like coming up closer to stage and was like, oh my God, like my arms are standing out. This guy's been haunting me in my own shop. And like you saying the name now, it's freaking me out. So it was a cool experience. Yeah.
that's well, now I don't know if you've been there recently. I was there about a month ago, and there's like shops all in those rooms now.
Yeah.
They've got cleared out.
It's cool.
Oh, let's see. I was there too. Didn't meet you, Josh.
Yeah. James was there too. And Lola. His daughter is amazing, like an incredible investigator. She's gonna be big upcoming for sure, and she's just so gifted. But she was there too, so
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions for Francesca, please comment, and we'd love to answer part of your questions. Sometimes I get to miss them because they go crazy, and sometimes we miss a couple of questions in the show, but we'll try to get the best as we can. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? How'd you get into the paranormal, and like what made your way to come to Florida?
Well, I'm actually from Wichita, Kansas, which is so weird. I'm like a mutt of things. So
Wow.
My father is Cuban and my mother's Colombian, and I was born in Wichita, Kansas. So everybody's like, how the hell does that happen? Don't ask me. It's just
Is that Tornado Valley?
It is, yes.
Ah.
You think of the Wizard of Oz every time. I always hear that growing up. When I moved to Florida, it's funny. I was more raised in Florida though. So when I go to Kansas, they know I'm not from there. And it's funny because I'm like, yeah, I am. Actually, I was born here, but I'm like, no, you're not. You're definitely from somewhere else, But no, yeah, definitely. That's why everybody thinks Tornado Alley, Wizard of Oz. So that's where I'm from. But I moved to Florida at a young age. And from there on, I just had experience with the paranormal since as a kid. So I always like been more intuitive as like in my dreams, I guess I connect more. So I had these like ongoing like experience or like chapter book of like a dream. It's kind of weird to explain. But I had a lot of night terrors, like sleep paralysis, nightmares too. So that kind of all started and kind of got me into like the field of psychology growing up, seeing like if something's like kind of like, messing with me during my sleep and whatnot. So try to rationalize some thoughts out of it. And then I studied psychology, got my major in that. Didn't go for psychology, obviously, because it goes against the field. So my heart couldn't go to that extent. But that's where I got into the paranormal and just kind of decided to put my stuff out there finally after so many years. I kind of like kept it to myself and was like a little inside hobby, and I just didn't know like how to go out there and start putting my stuff out there, even when I was doing psychology, because it was just so against the field,
Wow.
Yeah.
I got a question here. Do you have any abilities that assist you on investigations, or do you rely on technical communication?
I do a little bit of both. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm psychic per se, even though I had a lot of psychics tell me that I have tendency. I mean, everybody has the capability of being psychic, I guess you could say. But sometimes I have like strong intuition. I can go into a room and kind of sense it out and be like, okay, this is where I'm gonna do my little investigation now. This is where I feel like it's kind of hot or heavy or whatever it's going on here.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of go off my experience. And then I do use my equipment because you have to kind of back up, your scientific research and in fact. So yeah, you got to use your tools to kind of communicate it and see what you can get out of it. So, but I always like to rely on tools more than just my intuitive side, just kind of you have to back up your stuff.
Yeah, it's like the same with me. Like I like to check out the place first and see how the feeling is, and then pull out stuff that whatever I need to to check out the place, because you never know what kind of experience you're going to go into, especially if you're like a first-time paranormal investigator or you've been doing it for years. It doesn't matter. Everything happens. Hey, Steve, what's up, Wojo? How's it going, buddy? But yeah, you just never know the experience and stuff like that. But like
I always say carry an EDI with you. Like that's definitely your data. Yeah, that's your backup, your whole everything is just gonna be through an EDI. So it's changing the environmental, pressure, barometric pressure, whatever can freaking talk today. But anyways, EDI is gonna be your backup.
I have that all the time. Don't
I had some drinks with my father a little bit earlier. Sorry about that. No, not bad. Just like I don't really drink a lot, so like him and I were just having like some heavy conversations.
My drink is coffee. Well, I used to like, oh gosh, man, when I used to live in Tennessee, because I did used to live in Tennessee, and there's this guy that used to make moonshine up in they call it the Holler.
Oh.
And it was moonshine. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker. I had a couple mojitos. That's it. That's what me and my father do. So 2's enough, and that's my budget.
This stuff was so smooth, and like the second time around, it was like we were just like we don't even remember what happened.
Yeah.
It was that crazy.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's yeah. I'm a weak drinker, I must say. Yeah, lightweight.
Yeah, just don't try the moonshine because it will get you.
Oh yeah, no, I tried it before. It's strong stuff. That's what I'm like, nah, bleh. Oh, yeah. College days, never again. Let's just say that.
I should try that when I'm like going bigfooting and just have some moonshine. No, I'm just kidding. I would not.
I mean, I guess you can have your moments, just have your moments of fun, get with your boys or whatever. Go drink your moonshine.
Well, sometimes I like to go in the woods by myself. I'll go with a couple of people, but Wojo, of course you would have a jar in the fridge. You don't share with me. What's up, Henry? How's it going, buddy? But yeah, no, that's really cool. I know, all jokes aside, but yeah, I know I know you're a part of War Party. Tell me a little about them. I know those guys are awesome. I've talked to them for a while now and stuff like that. And I'm actually coming with you guys. I think it's October 31st.
I heard. Was October 31st? Oh my goodness, my track.
It's in West Palm Beach.
Oh, Yesteryear Village.
It
Riddle
was,
House and.
Yeah, I think it was like on what's that show? Zach Bagans.
Yes. So yeah, the Riddle House. Yeah, it's Yesteryear Village. Yeah, that place is wild. Like I love that place. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be bringing my podcast show. I'm interviewing you guys and probably going live and all that stuff and see what we catch. So it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, no, definitely come out. But yeah, I'm part of War Party. So I mean, I first started off as Supernatural Eye, so that's actually what kind of got War Party to notice me. And kind of brought me along. So we have like a 90-day trial that, when new members come on, they have to go through a 90-day trial, test them out. Because of course you just don't want to add anybody. You have to make sure that, they're going through and they want to, have a passion for the paranormal and the research and everything else. Not everything is going to be paranormal. Yeah. So, you go through a 90-day trial and they kind of test you out and see if you're good. And then from there on, you just kind of join the team. And you help out with public events, residentials, and everything else. So it's cool. I'm definitely very honored to be part of the team because they're just so reputable and they're awesome. Yeah. Not because I'm part of it, but it's true. Like these guys, I looked up to them. Just kind of starting the paranormal. So I was very honored when I was asked to be part of the team. Yeah, and I know there's a woman that's the head of the team that I met in Arcadia before. Bless her soul, before she passed away. I had the opportunity to meet her, and she was just talking to her was amazing. Just hearing her talk and stuff. Yeah, she definitely has a good heart. And so that's our co-founder, Scotty Burns. Rest in peace. We went to Gettysburg and did like a big little memorial speech for her. She founded the team with Zap, our other founder. Actually, she was our co-founder, and they created War Party Paranormal. They've been in the game for for a while, and these guys are like OGs. Like I really look up to them, and they taught me so much. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for them. She's our Mama Bear, and rest in peace. Like she was big. Yeah, she's also with. They wanted Freddie to get into small places. Oh, of course they do. I think the Zach Bagans where they say, "Hey, go in there." That would be me. That would be the Aaron of the show. That would be fun though. It's the midget problems, of course. So I fit into the creepy crawling places and everything, So they put me out. They put me out. And also it's ghost bait too, because of course there's always these creepy ghost spirits too. So I don't know if they don't get any action or whatever, but they was hey, you're the girl, go out there. And you got other girls too, but for some reason I don't know. Yeah. Oh man, that's great. I love going in places like that, underneath crawling basements and stuff like that, and just creepy places that are so. I love the dark. The dark is my place. I could fall asleep. Just my kids are nope, not doing it. I'm a night owl too. Even driving at night, there's something about a peacefulness to the night that it doesn't scare me. And I know it's more you're vulnerable as a female going at night and doing long distance traveling or whatever the case is. But there's something about the night to me that is very peaceful. I don't know. It's something about it.
like I used to remember when I used to drive at nights, sometimes at night. It doesn't happen much anymore, but when I was like really starting to see paranormal stuff, there'd be like stuff jumping in front of my car and stuff, like little black shadows.
Yeah.
I would just like run, and it was so like it was weird at first, but then it's like you get so used to you don't see it anymore because you're just like, well, it is what it is.
No, that's cool though. Like, I mean, you kind of, and you don't know what really. I mean, I give you props for anybody that's like into like the whole cryptids and the Bigfoot and everything else, because that's scary to me. Like, I can go out in the woods, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm more of like an indoor person, and I can go camping, but I'm more of like the RV girl. And there's got to be an RV. I gotta make sure. I hate to say it, I know, but I'm that girl. I gotta make sure there's a shower, there's some AC a little bit going, especially in Florida. People don't understand how it gets down here.
Oh, the humid, like it's funny.
I give
like
you props for that.
You could take a shower, go outside, and then you feel like you took a second shower. It's weird. It's like
I can't do my hair.
No, the hair's like
horrible. Oh yeah, all the time.
I barely have hair, so that's a.
Oh, you're lucky. There's some days I just want to, but anyways, like just like take it all off because it's just horrible down here. It's like you're swamping it. Like really, it's. Ugh.
Oh gosh, yeah, I would say something funny, but that's what I call
no, don't even. Not Brittany. I love Brittany. I'm a Brittany.
Oh man.
I stopped myself there, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to go to that. But no, I wouldn't. But anyways, yeah.
It's Florida. But Florida. Well, it's funny because like I have a funny story. When we have you ever been to Ocala?
I have, yes.
Like in the woods, like deep in the woods. All right. So
I mean, I've investigated there stuff, but no, it's not deep.
So me and my buddy, we went camping there doing a paranormal thing, and the funny part is like there were these two wild cats fighting each other. And like I think it was like 3 a.m, and we're like, "What the hell's going on there?" So my buddy decided to close the the cover for the window. He's like, "Maybe that will solve the problem." We just went back to sleep. We're like, "Whatever. If we get eaten, we'll get eaten." It was
no.
Yeah, it was.
And you hear like weird things, I'm sure too. Like I've heard like some cat. Like you're talking about like actual like cats, right? Like
like mountain lions and stuff like that.
Like an actual, okay.
Yeah. Or it could have been
like an actual like domesticated cat or something, or I don't know. Yeah, see, no. Wildlife kind of freaks me out. Like I love animals, don't get me wrong.
He called you a city girl. Uh-oh.
No, I'm in between. I have like a balance in me. Like it's weird because as we were talking earlier, I live in Naples, and Naples is not really a big city like that, like compared to the East Coast where all the team members are at. And I was telling Eric, there's no way you're going to see me living in Miami. Like I don't know how they do it because it's survival of the fittest over there. Like you're on the defense. The driving's crazy. Already Floridians drive crazy. Like you're already used to that, but it's like over there's a whole
Fifth Avenue.
No, we deal with slowness.
Oh my gosh.
It's a difference because you do feel the difference.
I don't know how many times I've almost got hit with my work truck on that road.
The old people
it's
driving
crazy.
That's the problem down here is the old drunk drivers, because that's the other thing too. There's so many DUI cases down. So
you wonder, like, so many people getting hit. You think they were like, "Oh, that's haunted places here." Like, too many people dying up at Naples.
Yeah, but I've been to cities. But I don't know if I could see myself living in a city. It has to be in between. Like, it really does. I can't see myself in the country because I feel like I'll get too lonely. Even though it's so beautiful. Like, I look at country, I'm like, this is gorgeous out here. Like, you don't have to deal with people sometimes. Yeah. But then there's sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I can like be super lonely. So I kind of feel like I have to have a balance. I have to have in between this, you know.
Yeah, that's why I like the mountains. I'm a mountain guy.
I'm thinking about leaving. I was actually going up north too. I've seen all those mountains. They're so pretty.
The mountains. I was in Montana, was it a few months ago? Christmas time. And just being in Montana in the mountains, it's like between Tennessee, there's Tennessee mountains.
Yeah.
There's mountains, and then you got mountains in Montana.
Those are beautiful. I'm sure I haven't been to Montana. I've been to like Utah and like Lake Tahoe, and that's crazy. I thought I was going to die in a blizzard. That was freaking crazy. But again, you're from Florida, so you're not used to all that stuff. And I was like trying to make it to my flight to go back to Florida from a Paracon over there. And that was nuts. Like I really thought I was going to die off like Lake Tahoe in the snow in a blizzard. I really thought it's nuts. But anyways, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a different change of scenery than what we're used to down here.
We need a Paracon down here up in Florida area. We need something big.
We do. The thing is with Florida, we have so much potential. I do say this not because we're in the state, and I know everybody's like, oh, just because she lives there. You know, everybody up north is so lucky because they have these historical places that they really care about and preserve. The problem here with Florida, and you know, I hate to say, but I do work for like, what's up? But the thing is, and I work for condo associations. I see developers are so money hungry here, and it's so competitive with like the tourism and like bringing the people in. Everybody's moving here. There's so much population coming to Florida, and it's like all the condos like knocking these historical places for the money value to go build condos. And there, you got Disney, and you got like all this different, and that's why the paranormal is just not popular here. And that's what's nuts. And there's so much potential. You got St. Augustine. You have the oldest city of the United States, for heaven's sake. I mean, I get there's like history up north and stuff, but come on, you got St. Augustine. That's like the first discovered city ever in the United States. And again, like we just don't, it's just so competitive because of that. It's just, that's what's rooting the paranormal down here, I would think. And that's why it's so important to save these places, because of these money hungry developers, in other words.
Well, the funny thing is, like, me and my buddy did this trip where we like went in the middle of Florida. I think we went up the coast. We found this like hotel. It was an old, it was like Al Capone actually lived there. And it was very interesting. They have like underground, and no one's ever investigated.
Where was this at?
I gotta look it up. I can't remember the name. I'll send it to you.
It's in Florida, because I know that there's the Redlands Hotel, and we used to do events there. And I know that Al Capone was known to visit there. It's not like the Biltmore. I know the Biltmore, they said that he was rumored to stay at the Biltmore Hotel too. That place as well. But oh my God, I can tell you stories about that place.
I know is that the one in Naples where it's very haunted?
No, the Biltmore's in Coral Gables. That's in Miami. That's where like the other mobster, Fatty Walsh, died in the penthouse, and he like is rumored to like haunt the Biltmore and other things. But that place got history.
There's a hotel, a very famous hotel, very expensive hotel.
That's probably it.
In Naples.
In Naples.
What's it called?
Not the Ritz. No.
I've done work there too.
That's haunted.
Yeah, they say it's very haunted. I don't know.
I wish I knew that, because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised again. Things get knocked down. So there's one in Marco Island. I wonder if you're confused with that one or no, Naples?
No, this is definitely Naples. It's in a community. Maybe it is the Ritz.
Maybe the Ritz is like really well known. There's the Astoria. What was it? The Waldorf or whatever, the Astoria one, and then I don't know. I mean, that's haunted. The thing is with Naples, the only thing, unless like people cover, I think there's so much potential. But again, you got the money and the rich people. They don't like the paranormal. They don't like they're all stuck up. So they control a lot in our side of town and the Southwest area. But I know the only thing that they say is haunted in Naples is the Palm Cottage. And I've never been there. I have to go one day just to check it out for a museum tour. Maybe I'll kind of like, network with them or something if they're open to the paranormal. But that is known to be haunted. There is this little cemetery that's on Pine Ridge Road and Airport. I don't know if you heard about that cemetery. I forgot what the name is. I think it starts with an R and I can't like come up with it. But anyways, I don't see the point of investigating it because it's on a busy street. So what are you going to do? Like, I mean, EVPs, you can't, there's noise contamination, but that's supposed to be haunted. The Crackle Barrel.
Where someone committed suicide.
That's an interesting story.
They said like they have like pans flying everywhere. They had doors and stuff like that. That's a big,
that was big. So that was in the 90s or early 90s or something like that. But that's known to be, and they're really like sticklers about the paranormal. Like they don't want anybody coming up in there and asking about like what happened with the murders and stuff like that. But that place supposedly is haunted. But I never heard about the hotel. Now I'm like curious. I have to like look this up.
I'm trying to think.
There's one in Marco Island, though. I know that's like historical and it's like known that for paranormal activity, though. And that appears to take that one out.
I want to get to this question Damien's been asking. What percentage of investigations do you feel is more residual than intelligent?
Ooh, I mean, it just really depends. I can't really give you a percentage because it just depends on the situation in the case of where you're going, In most cases, from at least my experience, I could say I've dealt more with intellectual hauntings than residual. But I
Yeah.
have dealt with some residual hauntings, and you can kind of tell obviously you can definitely tell the difference in between the two. But I definitely dealt with more like intellectual hauntings, like things that like knew I'm there and it's just interactive and stuff like that, more than like a residual haunting. So I can't really give you a percentage, but I know it just depends,
Yeah. He also asked, do you use Ouija boards?
No, well, there has been cases, not really an investigation, just for experimentation. Growing up, for experimentation when you're with your girlfriends, like,
Yeah.
thinking like, oh my gosh,
That's right.
like that you've done more. But
Yeah.
I've done it once, I think, in an investigation just to try it out. But since you have so much technology, like that pretty much works as equivalent to
Yeah.
a Ouija board. Like there's no need. You got a spirit box, like
Yeah.
you got things like that. But it's cool sometimes just to pop one out and just see what you get out of it. But I haven't really used one, but not frequently during my investigations. No.
I think I know that hotel now.
Oh,
It just
tell me, because I want to know.
Hilton.
Really? Hilton?
Yeah.
In Naples?
Yep, the Hilton. That's what it is.
God, I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna forget, and like I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, the Hilton Hotel. I think it's up in I can't remember what community it's in because you have to drive through a community to get in there, but it's a very fancy hotel.
Is it on like 41, like the Main Street 41?
It might be.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I'll have to look it up. If you look up Hilton, it says it has a haunted history. I'll have to look it up again, but
okay, that's. So
I know
cool.
when I was looking up haunted Florida, and that was one of the places that popped up online.
Oh, cool.
Which was weird because I can't remember the history about it though. I have to look it up again.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look that. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's funny. That just popped up in my head. I was like,
that happened. You just saw me earlier. I was like, it's gonna come to me in an hour. I'm like so ADD that I'm like, it's so random.
Oh, my ADDs.
I'm with you on that. Don't feel bad at all.
That's why, like, when my parents tried to, like, when I was a kid, they tried to give me medicine, and it made it worse.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, no, get him off the medicine.
My mom was such a hippie. I remember like they were dying to put me on medication.
Yeah.
I was that like, just like, and she's like, no, in my country, there ain't no such thing as ADD. It's called ass whooping. You pay attention. And it's so true. It's like, it really, and then learning psychology, it's really like a made up disorder. It's all a practice of like, just really like disciplining yourself. And like,
I got a lot of ass whoopings when I was a kid. Trust me.
But my mom was so against the Ritalin and all that stuff. And I get why it can get a little strong for kids and stuff like that. But
my dad was a military, like, oh my gosh, I'll never forget the day. Like, he came into my class. The principal loved my dad because he was like all military. Yeah. He grabbed me by the belt. I'll never forget this in middle school. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny back then. He grabbed me by the belt and made me do push. He's like, assume the position. Made me do push-ups in front of the whole freaking class. No joke, people.
Yeah,
it's funny as hell. But
that's funny.
But nobody messed with my dad. Nobody. Oh, wow. Like all the kids were like, yes, sir.
Like I'm not messing with him. Hell no.
That's when the paddle was like back then, when kids were allowed to get paddled in school. You can't do that no more. It's illegal, but don't
do it. We don't suggest it just because it was done to us. Just joking.
We lived in old school and
it's different too, because like I grew up with like Hispanic parents, and like my mom was very like, I'm gonna get the sandal, like that chancleta, I'm gonna go ahead and whoop your and then she sticks her tongue out like, and I used to be like, oh my god, like she's crazy. I used to like run for it, but so it's different cultures. I've realized that like growing up, like it's just, I guess it's just all different. But yeah, nowadays it's very sensitive. It's like it all depends too. I mean, there's some people that take it really to an extent that's like super abusive, but it's I don't like, go to that. I mean, there's a
See, mine was Italian, so my parents used the wooden spoon or the belt.
It's similar. Like, Italians they're very similar in culture. They really are. They are. They're like, let's say like it's April Rousset. We met up with her and we did an investigation, which I can't talk a lot about because that's for season 3 of the Haunted Files.
But April, I know April.
Oh, she's awesome. I met her. I mean, we were online buddies and we never got to meet, and that was the first time, and it was just awesome. Like it was just like, oh my god, you're freaking awesome, So lovely, beautiful woman. And we investigated the White Hill Mansion, but she was the same thing we were talking about. She's like, oh yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like Italian, it's the same thing. You Cuban, it's the same thing. But it's like we understand each other. We know how that is.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, Damien. Oh, where is that question? There it is. I think. Hold on, my thing is going weird. Wait, what people are talking about Oh, there we go. The 2-finger lift, where you lift someone off the ground. Have you done that?
I saw that on that movie Craft. It's such a good movie, iconic. But
Yep.
I have never done that before. I don't know if that's a legit thing or if it works. Maybe one day I'll try it, but I haven't done that levitation type of or thing.
Yeah, I've seen it done. I've seen someone actually get lift off the ground, but that's a whole nother story.
There's cases about it that were done like back in like the spiritual days and stuff like that in that era, but I haven't done it myself. I've done table tipping and that was really cool. I know it looks like a bunch of BS because I'm very skeptical. Sorry.
Speaking of table tipping, what part of Florida is it? It's a very witchy town. Cassadaga, okay. Mm-hmm. We've been to Cassadaga. Now, the weird part of this is, I believe in table tipping, but when they did it, I, disproved it because I saw them moving the table, which was, so disappointing. I was like, why?
Oh, that's disheartening. Yeah. I wonder if our team member Marie was there because I know she went to some convention that was table tipping and she brought her table too. And we call her a table tipping queen. And I kid you not, when I first saw it, it was actually at Cassadaga. We did a Univision special, or Univision. Everybody on my team says Univision. But it's Univision. But anyways, we did a special with that on table tipping at Cassadaga, actually at the Aunt Stevens house. And she was just at first I'm like, this is a bunch of BS. Come on. This looks like you're pushing the freaking table. Same thing. So it does look like that. And I don't know if you ever tried it until you get on. And I don't know, I wasn't there, but until you actually get on the table, it blew my mind away because I was looking at everybody and we're literally barely touching the freaking table and this thing is moving on its own. So of course, Marie kind of has a conduit. She stirs up some type of energy with the table. And then it's weird because at first you're like, is it Marie? Because you kind of think not that we want to discredit your team member, but you're just kind of you're just skeptical because that's just how the human mind works. You want to see what the hell is going on. And no, she gets off the table, and our guests too. Our guests experience this at our events, and it's legit. People go to it, and this is the thing is when you see it and you don't experience it, it's different. Because I myself called it BS. I'm like, yeah, this is a bunch of come on, man, we can't be showing this. We got evidence to prove and stuff. But come on. But it is legit. It took my mind away. It blew my mind away. I don't know if it's because Cassadaga, but no, we've done this at the Gold Coast Railroad Museum, Old Davie. And our guests tried it themselves, and she gets off the table to know that it is not her manipulating this table. The guests do it themselves. And sometimes she criticizes the guests. If she sees the guest is kind of priced, she's like, no, light as a feather. So we call her a table tipping queen, but she's legit. So I don't know what happened at Cassadaga, but she went to something like that. So I wonder if that was the same. I don't know.
We'll cross the line. It's a game called Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. Just what you were just saying.
Oh, really? I don't know. I've never I've seen it from The Craft. When they did that's why I think of it, but I've never. No.
Yeah, The Craft. It's done in high school.
I'll be honest, I've never done that.
I've done it in high school. That's cool.
Yeah. I always want to experiment with your friends, and it didn't work for us. You tried that before as with your girlfriends, thinking you're all witches and you're cool and stuff. But no, it didn't work. So I don't know. I've not for my paranormal investigations. I don't do that now.
Yeah. All right, got another question. If you could go back to any location you have investigated, what would you do differently? And with having more educational experience, how would you approach the evidence, experiences, and claims?
Gary, I'm glad you asked me that question because
That's a good question.
Complain and just nag about this all the time. Would be Alcatraz. Not that I really got to. It was a mini investigation. But I would go back to it. And the reason why it was 10 years back, I was just starting new. So I didn't have a whole lot with me. I had a K2 starting off. And I had my first little Sony recorder and all that. And even so with my recorder, I got a really good EVP that I still have till this day. And that's my only proof of evidence. But I had my GoPro at the time. And the troopers, they're I call them the state troopers or the rangers or whatever that were patrolling the area. Very nice enough to kind of guide me on what to do for my solo session. And they allowed me to do a solo session for 30 minutes, without people contaminating my space and stuff. So the last tour, before they started doing night tours, it was way back in the day. And they allowed me to do solitaire. I want to do solitaire. I want to do that D block cell or whatever. So I knew where I wanted to go. And there's so many places to go. That place is wild. Not just so much because of the history. That place is just, it's still up there. Even if I went during the day as like a regular tour, but that was nice and cool that they did that. So shout out to those freaking Rangers, man, in Cali for that. And I did it for 30 minutes at least. And I was just so proud I did that. And I had the footage on my GoPro, but I was such an idiot because like now I was collecting my evidence back then. Like I didn't really had like the strength to kind of put my stuff out there because I didn't want people to criticize me. So finally I started doing it when I started doing Supernatural, and that's how I kind of started putting my stuff out there. And I had the biggest war with like these tech guys because I lost my footage for not backing up my stuff, because having an Apple, just so you guys know, compared to Microsoft, they have so much updates that you got to update your stuff, and if you don't, you're going to lose your footage if they're old or like 10 years old or whatever the case is. So I learned it the hard way. I'm not a tech girl. Far from that. So I didn't know that. Like, I just had it on my I'm like, this thing's not playing. It's like cropped out my videos, like footage, like pictures or whatever. So that's an example of a place I would go back to because and do it differently because of not only the equipment that I have now, but just now that you've been there and know that if you have the same amount of permission, because it's so strict, it really is a strict place to investigate. And I know everybody's like, how'd you do it? I'm like, not really that I did it. I just only had 30 minutes of, look, whatever. Even so, I captured a wild EVP, and you can see that on one of my episodes. And it was a cool EVP. So at least that was cool. That can prove that to people. But it just sucked I lost the footage to back that up, and other things I captured with the footage because I was an idiot and didn't back up my stuff. So the answer to that long question would be Alcatraz. Sorry, but that's the one I harp on.
That's awesome.
And it's still my favorite place. I love it. I'll go back to Harvey.
That's one place I do want to go to, Alcatraz. That's
a tip though. If you go, a lot of people don't know this. Like they just go to San Francisco and think you can go buy a ticket. No, you need to reserve in advance. It's the most sold out event to do at San Francisco. And San Francisco, there's a lot of things to do. So it tells you a lot of how popular Alcatraz is. You need to reserve in advance. And now they do these night tours things. I'm like, that's so cool. I wish I could have done that. I didn't do that back in my time when I was there.
I like to go diving there, like around the area where they actually tried to escape those prisoners and stuff like that. That'd be a cool dive. I heard it's very like cold and murky and all that stuff. But
the waters too, it's choppy. Like it's hard to like.
And it's weird. It's like how do those guys survive when they broke out and stuff? Apparently they survived and like lived on and all that.
That's what people say. I kind of, not because I'm super skeptical sometimes, but I like question it because I'm like, how? Like you say the water temperatures and like they're on these like little rinky-dink like raft, like not even life jackets or whatever. Like there's no way you could survive that. And then like you think about the sharks and like listen, I'm Cuban. I will not go into the water if it's not clear. I'll tell you that right now. There's sharks. There's all these different things. You think of the wildlife. So I don't know. I mean, it could be possible there's a boat that went out of its way, maybe rescue them. It could be very well be like low-key secret. That's the only way I could see them escaping that island. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I don't. It's a mystery. No, there's no evidence. So
it's crazy stuff, man.
That island, I'm telling you, that's just one story, but there's just so much. Like there's.
I'll have to tell you about my Brushy Mountain experience. Oh my gosh.
That's on my bucket list. Our founder, Zach, wants to do a team event there, like wants to get all our team members to kind of do a private there. So that's on our bucket list.
The funny part is, like, I always warn people to go there when they go there because my experience in the Pac-Man Paranormal, if they're on, they'll back me up on this because they saw it too. That, you think you would never see something that comes out of a movie. When you see something that's like crazy, like, oh, that can't happen. That's like poltergeist or something like that. But like when I say I saw someone get lifted off the floor and slammed on the ground and grabbed across the ground and lifted up again and slammed, and like it was the most. It kind of like that whole experience, and like I got attacked. I got a picture where you could barely see my eyes. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh wow!
You could barely see my eyes. I was like on my knees, like right after that investigation. It took me out. Yeah,
Where was
was Brushy Mountain.
Brushy Mountain. That's what I say. Okay, so Brushy Mountain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. That's what Zach was. Yeah, I wanted us to go there, and I hear so much good things about it. But that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I just tell people be prepared. It's an awesome experience. There's some places that in there that are like not as haunted as the other places in that place. But like when you go in, like especially the cafeteria area, that's where I really when the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
But it's a cool place though. The whole feeling in that place is probably the best paranormal experience I've ever.
That's
I mean,
cool.
and creepy,
Yeah.
but I definitely want to go back because the weird part is like after I went there, I had these dreams like I should go back there and stuff like that. And
Okay.
it's weird.
There's something
But, like,
attached to you, or like something that was like, I don't know.
yeah, that's why I had that picture. I'll have to show it to you. Like I said, where my eyes were
Yeah.
cloudy. You could barely see my eyes, like
Wow.
my pupils. It was weird.
Yeah, you gotta show me that. That's cool. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's like, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
like cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
It was
Awesome.
definitely an experience. But man, there's so many people asking so many questions. Thank you guys. You guys
I know.
are
I can't
awesome.
keep track. I'm like trying. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I know. Well, let me see where we are here. Richard Banty. I gotta say that guy's amazing. Please, if you guys ever see Richie, go visit his show on Saturday before mine. Bigfoot Evidence. It's amazing. The evidence he has there. It's crazy stuff. Go check him out. And Wojo. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, here's a question. You had any team members shout you from another room only to find no one shouted, but you heard and recognized the voice?
Oh yeah, we had a lot of disembodied voices sometimes. Like definitely. I mean, I would say not like all the time, but sometimes we do that. Like we're in a room and sometimes like, did you say something to me? Did you call me? It's a voice that we both clearly hear. And I'm like, no, I thought you were calling me. Or sometimes like we're like in one room that we're like kind of like in nearby distance and we hear something in the hallway or whatever the case is. So yeah, we definitely pick up on disembodied voices. Like I wouldn't say like call my name kind of per se, but you just don't know. Like you hear something, but you just can't make out what it's saying, you know?
Yeah. I got Gary.
Sorry, my dog wants attention, so I had to bring him up here. So he's not
That's okay.
working.
My dog's behind me right now.
Salem, he's a paranormal pup, so he's like knows that we're talking
What's
about
up?
Say hi, Salem. He's a little camera shy, but he wanted attention, so I had to bring him up a little bit.
Gary says Devil Island is a distance from Alcatraz, very insanely haunted island community that completely abandoned when we filmed there. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, if you had the opportunity to film there, oh my gosh, because they are strict, but it's like really it's so wild. If you've been there, I highly recommend it. And even if you can't, like, still try to go during the day and get your recorders and try to kind of isolate yourself from people if you can. I know it's hard, but and I'm sure they'll allow you. I mean, they allowed me 10 years back. I'm sure why not? Like, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask one of the little rangers, like, hey, can you like hook a girl up? You know, that's what I did. I was like, hey, you know, I came all the way from Florida and I'm into the paranormal and I got my recorder and like my GoPro and I just really want to try out this. And I think she felt bad. She's like, I'll give you 30 minutes. That's it. And they're strict. Oh yeah, they were like, I was like, you know, all right, time's up, time out. And you see them on my video too. Of course, I couldn't have that backed up because it got chopped off. You know. Anyways, yeah.
Cross the line says, "Wow, I want to be thrown around. Ultimate experience."
That would be something James would say.
Oh man, well, it wasn't for the lady, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah,
man.
that's kind of wild. I mean, not gonna lie, that's like something I wish would happen to me.
Oh man, well, bless her heart, like her face was like bruised black and blue and there was blood and all that.
I shouldn't be saying that. Yeah. But it's like one of those things you kind of hope for an experience or something crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of wild though. Like I can't imagine. Yeah.
Have you ever had a premonition of an investigation and then years down the road when you're in a location investigation right after the experience happens, you remember that the premonition, like deja vu?
Not, you know, there has been locations I've been to that I feel like I've been there before, but not that I remember exactly in a dream. It's just one of those things that you feel like it's a familiar place, you know?
Yeah. I
had premonition dreams, but I wouldn't say that it connected with the paranormal or my investigations, but I have been to locations that I felt like it was a familiarity to me, that there's something that, you know, I might have been there from another past time or life or whatever the case is. But not that it's exact to, you know, the investigations or anything like that. But I had premonition dreams before. It's weird, like that things were going to happen to like a friend of mine or something weird like that. It did, but not to an investigation or tied into, you know, my investigations.
Have you only investigated, let's see, bring this up, the USA, or have you traveled China, Europe, etc.?
Ooh, yeah, just the USA for most part. I'm dying to do like overseas investigation. The only thing I really been to that was kind of wild, not that I did an investigation, but I felt like there was definitely something there. I I went to Dubai, and that was like the coolest
Oh, wow.
trip. Oh my god, that trip! That's definitely
That's
probably
cool.
top. It's another experience. I really highly recommend it. If
Yeah.
Definitely cool. Go if you can. It's cool. But they had this. It's interesting because there's new Dubai and there's old Dubai. And old Dubai is like kind of like the rough part of Dubai because you see what you see is new Dubai, like the rich, the luxury, like the money part. That's new Dubai. And then you don't see a cop out in the street. That's how much money and filth. It's crazy wealth how it is over there. Like they have no cops on the street. Everything's controlled through cameras, which is kind of creepy. But in old Dubai, there is cops, and they had like this historical museum of like the culture of like Dubai and stuff like that. We went to see it. And this is like cool because like every time I go to a place, I can feel it. I can know, like I know there's something there, or it's haunted or whatever. As a little girl, I did that too. My parents thought it was so weird, like, oh my god, stop with your ghost, stop, like shut up, But I did. Like I was like good at like picking up things like that. I went to the museum, like, oh, this place got a vibe, not because of the artifacts and like whatever, typical, but it's like you really pick up on it, and slowly you kind of start going like underground or whatever. And then like they had like these like mummies. I'm like, oh, there you go. They're like literally mummies. They had like them like, preserved, and there was like the child and the mom mummy and stuff. And it's like,
that's crazy.
That's like a perfect recipe right there,
Yeah.
So that was cool. But I wouldn't say it was an investigation per se. I'm dying to. If I could, I would love to do an overseas investigation somewhere. Like I have an apartment. I don't. My mom does in Colombia. So I don't know if I would do Colombia because you have to kind of be careful in those type of countries. But yeah, so you don't get like kidnapped and things like that. But it's cool to do something like crazy, like Island of the Dolls or something like wild that is known. Or like I definitely want to go to the castles and stuff like in Europe, Ireland.
I want to
like that's cool. Yeah.
What's a Dracula castle?
In like Transylvania. Transylvania. Like, yeah. That's, I know, I'm telling you, mojitos, don't do it. Just joking. Transylvania. That place would be cool. Yeah. That'd be cool. That Dracula's like later.
Yeah, Transylvania is my top. They say that now you can actually, they're allowing people to investigate it and stay overnight now.
That's really cool. I know. Oh, that's on my bucket. There's so many places on my bucket list. Like
somebody mentioned the Mexican Doll Island is crazy. So much activity.
Now, okay. Would creep me out though, but I would do it.
I don't do dolls. That's the one thing. No. No. I won't do dolls. I'll go in the woods. I'll do any cryptid stuff. Dolls, nope.
You won't see Robert the Doll then.
I might.
He's OG. I mean, he's a doll. He's. I say he's better than Annabelle. I mean, he's up there.
I've been wanting to. Well, speaking of Annabelle, but I've been wanting to visit
Robert.
I've been wanting to visit like Robert the Doll, but it's like, I mean, dolls. I don't know, man. They're creepy. Like if I saw an eye move or a head twitch backwards all the way around, I'd be like Zach Baggins, like screaming out the door. I'm like, nope, I don't. I'll be kicking it in the throat.
That's where my professionalism just goes out the door.
It's like, nope.
I'm kidding.
I mean, I will go. I will go.
No, I'm like that with clowns, and dolls do freak me out. I could do dolls, like I think they have like little souls to them. It's weird, like they have like characters. It's weird, but clowns, forget it. It's weird because everybody's like growing up, like, do ghosts and like demons and all this weird stuff. Not that I like really believe in demons. Like it's like hard for me to like to throw out the D word out there, but like my friends judge me for that. I'm like, you're scared of freaking clowns and cockroaches out of all things. I'm like, yes. You don't see me, and I don't do clowns. I don't do the clown motel. You don't see me. I would not refuse. Eric and Mike are dying for me to go to the clown motel, and they want to do something there. I'm like, you'll be the perfect person. I'm like, no, you're not taking me there. I'm not doing it.
There.
Hell no. I don't do clowns. I don't do clown and cockroaches. I can kill a spider over cockroach. Don't ask me. I can do it. I don't like cockroaches. It's my two things.
Someone's asking universal spirit language communication.
I've heard different theories. I don't know. Honestly, I don't have the answers to that, but it could be very possible. I mean, I definitely know that we've captured spirits like intellectually answer in Spanish and German. I heard from other teammate members too. Now we had like German investigators come and they had some things like translated in Germany and like things like that. But it could very well be a universal language that they understand amongst each other. I honestly don't know how the other side works, but that's an interesting theory.
Wow, that's awesome, David. You got a bottle of wine from Dracula. I'm jealous. You got to share that with me, man.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Like that's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
There's so many places. Yeah, and the pyramids. Like I don't know. There's so many places.
Egypt. Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know if you watch Expedition Unknown, like Josh.
Yeah.
Like he does these dives because I love diving. I've been diving since I was 13. My dad was a hard hat diver in the Navy, and diving is like I would love to dive underneath those.
Yeah.
There's areas with water and stuff like that. Like we'll have to talk more about it. I know we won't have much time, but there's so many stories about sacrificial, and when back in the day they sacrificed their animal to give it to the higher gods.
Yeah.
But in this cave where there was gases, but now it's full of water now. But they did this experiment where they put these animals near this cave because it was only a lower. People wouldn't die if they went in there in the cave because this gas level was like low. But the animals they would suffocate because of this gas, and people were thinking, that it was dying because of the sacrificial thing they were doing, giving it to the gods, when it was actually this gas that was in the chamber killing these animals. So it's like to them, they're like, we made the sacrifice, but it really wasn't. So it's a lot of. I love history. I love history.
It really is. It comes in. Like, it's not just like the spooks and everything out of this. Like there is. History that ties in all in between, whether it's paranormal and the cryptids, it's all part of paranormal. It's not just the ghost.
Yeah.
So I give you props for doing all that because I'm telling you, I love all that stuff, but you don't see me out in the woods. I'd be so scared. Like I could do it like maybe on one trip just to say I did it. Actually, I did camp out in the middle of the desert. Don't ask me. My mom made me do that. It wasn't paranormal related, but I was crapping my pants. I'm not gonna lie. That scorpion was gonna go bite me more than anything. And I didn't know the language, so it could be true. I could have somebody kidnap me for all I know, but it's like, but I was more scared of the scorpions.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Speaking of spiders, I used to live in Australia, and I went there for college for a year, long time ago. And I'll never forget when I was going, I think I was going down the stairs, and the freaking no joke, this spider was so huge on the wall, you could ride this sucker.
Oh,
it was, and I was looking at it, I was like, what the hell is that? I just turned around, and I was like, yep, I'm just turning around because I don't know if this sucker's gonna jump on my face.
Mess with this thing. Yeah.
Treat it like the Alien or something from an Alien movie or something like that.
They're smart too. Like they have all those freaking eyes and stuff.
Someone says they own a tarantula, cobalt blue. She is a Safi 6-inch still baby. Oh wow!
Can I see what's cute though? It's like she's like tarantula baby. I don't like tarantulas. Like spiders don't kind of creep me out. If I see them, I'm like, don't bite me. It's survival of the fittest at that point. But a cockroach, I freaking cry. You don't see me going near the thing, and it's weird, stupid. It's stupid.
Well, it's funny because I don't know, Everglades City because you're not too far from it, but like there's python hunting year round, and I talked to a lot of people up in Naples say that some of them do it as their job because they get paid if you catch a python or something bigger, the more money you get. And I'm like, man, I want to do that because I'm a hunter and I like hunting. And I'm like, man,
you can get a lot of money. And they do like those like marathons and like those like whatever. It's like they're so invasive. Like that's the thing, they're taking over the Everglades and it's killing all the wildlife out there. And those things are like freaking killing gators. Like that's how wild it is. God.
They're like anaconda size. They're like freaking.
It's wild. Like it's like not that I see them out in like my neighborhood person, but you can. Like it wouldn't be surprising one day you see this freaking thing. One time I saw a turkey in the middle of my backyard. Like, where the hell is this thing came from? I'm not in the woods, Naples. I'm like in like a gated community. So I'm like, what the hell? It was a turkey. I was
wow.
But anyways, but it's like you don't really see it as common. Maybe like when you're out in the estates or out like in like the woods area. That's more closer to the Everglades. I have friends that like they see wild stuff like the bears and like the panthers. And that's cool. But
let me ask you this question because I know you live in Florida just like me. Hey, Vogel Brothers, how's it going, buddy? They were on my show last weekend. They're awesome. I will be at their show next year talking about paranormal stuff. So look forward to that up in Massachusetts. So I'll be up there. But I don't know if this is a Florida thing, but at my last house, I saw it a couple of times, and it only happens on a corner road where I saw a box of chickens, dead chickens.
Oh.
I don't know if that's like a thing in Florida. If you ever heard of something like that, if it's like a ritual or something like that, but I saw it twice.
Interesting.
And I don't know
I've
if
never seen that personally. Not in Naples though, because Naples, how it is, it's very controlled per se.
Yeah.
But it's like I can kind of see that mostly on the other coast. And there's so many like Hispanic cultures here, like Cuban. They're into like the Santeria and like the voodoo and all that stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if people are like practicing these things. And I hate to say that, they're sacrificing animals or whatever.
Yeah.
We go to a place that's more on the East Coast, but it's called Aerojet Rocket Facility, and there's like things like that going on over there. Not that I've seen the chickens or anything like that, but you've seen like blood cut up or like the demonic symbols, and that's the only place I would feel like if there's any like the demons. I mean, not that I would say like I don't really believe in the demon stuff, but it's like if there were to be some, it would be there because it's just like so many people have done like so much worshiping and like Satanists and all this stuff. You can see the symbolism, and then like the blood marks too. There's blood marks. People died there.
Yeah.
The place I was known for satanic worshiping too, and it was tied into Aleister Crowley and all that stuff. So it's a really dark place, but that wouldn't surprise me down in South Florida with
Yeah, it's weird because like I know with different cultures, everybody has their different with spiritual things of sacrifice and things, and I know some people still do it till this day. And I was like, what the heck? It was so weird. It was there for a while until somebody moved it. But yeah, I don't know if you ever heard anything like that. Cape Coral's weird, man.
Listen, South Florida's in general, like Florida, even North Florida. I mean, like, that wouldn't surprise me. Cape Coral is interesting, though. I mean, like how they built Cape Coral and everything. It's interesting.
It used to be a cattle area where a bunch of cattle, and there was where we go investigating in the woods. It's called Old Burn Store Road. And it's where settlers were, and they had this war, Spanish War, and all that stuff, and that's why they call it Burnt Store, because they called it on fire or something like that. There's like ruins there of a fort and all that. That's what we got.
I think Eric was telling me about that he wanted to check that out.
And they had this ball of light that actually chased us out of the forest one time. It was weird because when we were there, it was full of water. It's rainy season, so that we wear our boots and stuff like that. And you would think it looked like someone's carrying a lantern, but you don't hear nobody sloshing through the water or anything like that. So, and it came close, so we walked back. It stopped. We stopped. It stopped. We walked. It started, and then it just went around us like it was chasing us. So we're like, could this be like UFO or could it be some spiritual being? It was weird.
I think you mentioned that there's so many reports about those lightings in that area, and like, and also portion on this in the campsites too. Like people witness that, and I don't know if it's tied into UFOs, but people say that it could be like a theory too, or like something, that's interesting though.
It's very weird because like we've had actually reports of like hikers get chased out and stuff like that by these balls of light. So
I've never seen one before, but it's like I've heard stories, like so many common stories about that. That's been reported. That's interesting.
Let's see. Oh, someone was saying could be something tied with Haitian voodooism, maybe with the chicken thing. I think that's what he's talking about.
To me.
I'm gonna answer a couple more of these questions because it is almost 9:00, and let's see.
My goodness, the time went by fast.
I know, like having too much fun.
I know. If I talk, I'm so sorry. I sometimes got carried away by conversations.
No, this is awesome. Have you ever had an animal with a team up for investigation?
I did. My little Salem, he just left though. But my little parrot pup. I felt kind of bad at first. The first time I took him out was at the Gilchrist jail, and it was just like, not that we really investigate, it was just for fun. And it was Eric and I, we met up with our friend Henry Lee, and we took Salem with us, and the way he reacted, and I feel bad because he's still kind of a puppy, like he's about to be 2 in October, baby. Yeah. And he was just reacting right away. He didn't want to go into the jail. He was just kind of like hesitant, like, come on, buddy. And it was just us hanging out, just as friends. And like, finally, like he just like kind of was, going in, and then all of a sudden he started barking in the corner. Like we're just like walking into like the little living room area that Henry Lee has like set up. And he's like barking out a corner, like something was there. Nothing was there. Like, and he was just like going, like, that just tells you how like animals are just so reactive to these type of experiences. And then like he wouldn't go to a particular cell that are known to like dark things that happen at that cell. The animals, like I guess he had his dog go there once and his dog refuses to go there. So my dog refused to go there. And then Salem was at Riverside. That was a place that's kind of like our hunting grounds where we start, our team, and we kind of like meet our team members and new ones come in. And that's where I last actually investigated with Scotty. And she was there at that investigation, and she met, Salem for the first time. So we took him out to the cemetery. I thought that was more appropriate for him because I felt kind of bad at the jail. He seemed like he was really scared, and I didn't want to be that person that's pushing my dog to do this. And he seemed like he was a little scared too, but he was kind of like a little bit more chill because there's just people around,
Yeah.
But he's been my little pair pup. So I would say, yeah, my little baby Salem. I've been kind of taking him time to time. Yeah, just slowly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you? Oh, animal investigator, paranormal, clean shaven face. No, Gary, I have not shaved my face and gone paranormal.
Yeah, you men love that beard. All the guys on my team have the beard thing going on. I'm the one missing out. I have to grow mine out. Sure.
It was longer, but I cut it down. But that's what happens. Cool. Someone's chasing their tarantula. Got a chance using my tarantula. She doesn't run. She can teleport. Oh, that's interesting, Damien.
That's cool.
That's very cool. Man, this is awesome, man. I wish we could go on longer because we're having such an amazing time.
Yeah,
man.
I'm having so much fun. I feel like I'm chewing your ear off. I'm having so much fun.
Oh my gosh. There's so much more to talk about too. And I'm definitely gonna have you on I'm gonna have to do a part 2 because
for sure. No, for sure. Because this was fun, and definitely you need to come out to our events. I'm looking forward to meeting you actually at Yesteryear. And I can't believe you're close by me. I'm the only member that's in the Southwest Florida area. I know. So we got a collab. I mean, hey.
Corshon.
That's what I said. But the thing is, Corshon, get this. We're like this close of like trying to do like an event for them and like, do like our thing for a war party over there. And they like made us sign all this paperwork, and they're super kind of strict about the paranormal. I didn't realize it. And I think it's because they do their own ghost tours, and I'll get to that.
Yeah, which is weird. I was going to say that. I was like, don't they do their own ghost tours?
I'm not going to give crap to Corshon, but I mean, I was kind of annoyed at the time because we went through all this paperwork and they kind of like turned us down. They're like, no, we don't want to promote the paranormal. Like, really? Then they do their ghost tour. And the thing is with their ghost tour, it's more like they tell a story and they dress up like characters and they tell their story of the history. So it's more like a history telling, and then they put some ghost stories in it. So it's really not even a paranormal investigation. It's not really your typical ghost tour of what you think it would be. It's a storytelling ghost tour situation. Yeah. So that's how controlling they are of the history, which I think they have to know that you can't control so much of like what it's known for. It was a cult, at its time. And I think they just are really strict about preserving that. And I understand it. I understand that it's something that they want to protect, but it's like, they're kind of strict about that. So if you go, like, I would suggest going camping and trying to go there at night. I hate to say that, but that's the only way you can really kind of enjoy it and just kind of respect. I mean, you can't really go inside, but you can definitely camp in the grounds and get activity because it's known to be haunted, even in the campgrounds.
Gary says, do a show and then follow up late after show on Censor 18 Plus continuous. That's what moonshine, man.
Oh man, it's been so much fun. But yeah, we gotta like definitely collab and definitely I look forward to meeting you at Yesteryear Village because that place is wild.
It's I do a lot of filming. I'm actually working on a horror movie right now. Filming a horror movie up in I think it's up in Port Charlotte. Yeah, nice. I'm doing some filming location up there. But yeah, I'll have to send you a little portion of it. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm super stoked, man. I can't wait till August 31st. It's gonna be a fun time.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it too. That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
It's definitely a fun time. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Definitely stay on after the show. We'll talk a little bit and stuff like that. Thank you everybody for the comments, man. You guys are awesome today.
Thank you for having me on. Yeah.
This was a really great show, and man, I really appreciate all the comments, guys. Thank you. Please follow me on Animal Paranormal Live and on my YouTube channel. And Francesca, please tell everybody where they can find you.
Thank you. You can definitely find me. I'm usually more like on Instagram and YouTube. So you can find me on Instagram on Supernatural Eye or Supernatural_I, I meant to say. YouTube is just Supernatural Eye. And that's where you can find me. You can find me on Facebook too. Usually I'm not big on Facebook platform just to kind of communicate with my team, but go ahead and find me on Facebook too. But those are the communication platforms and social media.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have to do a part 2 and have some more questions because there's so much more to ask.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
It went by so fast.
It does. Oh my gosh. No, but thank you. It's been fun. We got to do part 2 for sure.
Oh man. Well, thank you guys for listening to the show. And if you missed out, you can listen to me on iHeartRadio, iTunes, StreamYard, Podbeam, anywhere, YouTube, anywhere you can find me. You can listen to all my shows. So yeah, don't miss out. So peace.
Bye, guys.